Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some of the stocks on the move today. Here in Europe, I'm Caroline Hepker with Tom McKenzie. We're joined by Bloomberg's Chloe Millay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Loads of earnings to think about in Europe. Let's start with NatWest, the lender raising its guidance.
Yeah, very good morning for NatWest with a positive update kind of across the board. So, as you mentioned, raised its income and returns guidance, also delivered its highest earnings in at least a decade. And then also the net interest margin, which is really a key measure of profitability, was also higher. It also set aside less than expected to cover bad loans, which kind of suggests that the quality of its loan portfolio is in good shape. This is the third UK bank to report this week. We had Barclays and Lloyds as well earlier, and arguably NatWest is the one that delivered the most impressive results and therefore has seen the biggest kind of reward by the market, with shares really rising this morning. But overall, the UK banking sector seems to be doing pretty well. Both Lloyds and Barclays also upgraded at least part of their guidance. Barclays obviously a new buyback, and they've all kind of signaled that UK customers are resilient and coping quite well with inflation and with a weaker jobs market. We do have the budget coming next month, of course, so all of that might change. But for now, UK banks are holding up well, and NatWest in particular is holding up very well.
Okay, so from the banking space to the pharmaceutical space, Sanofi are also in focus, and profit rising more than expected last quarter.
Yeah, profit beat because of really strong demand for its blockbuster asthma drug called Dupixent. So the sales of Dupixent reached a record in the quarter, and it's expected to generate more than 21 billion euros in annual revenue at its peak, which makes it Sanofi's most important, biggest medicine by quite a long shot. That profit beat and the fact that Dupixent sales were really solid, overshadowed was another part of the earnings, which was a bit more of a weak spot, which is the vaccine segment. So Sanofi said that sales of flu shots fell quite significantly. It blamed that on price competition in Europe and then also lower vaccination rates in the US. The CFO also said there was maybe a little bit of post-COVID fatigue and quite negative sentiment around vaccines, which obviously could be quite a challenge going forward for Sanofi and other pharmaceutical peers. On the tariff side of things, Sanofi said it is in constant discussions with the US, though it actually did not make a deal like we've seen with Pfizer or AstraZeneca or Merck, where we've seen those companies cutting a deal with the US to lower drug costs in exchange for that tariff relief. So Sanofi has not done that yet, but it is in discussion with the US about those tariffs.
Okay, so that's on the pharma story, very US dependent too, isn't it? Let's also think about defence and the momentum that Saab has. The CEO also making some comments, speaking to Bloomberg.
Yeah, absolutely. So Saab, the Swedish defence company, it boosted its revenue guidance this morning. It said that it's obviously benefiting from the uncertain geopolitical landscape that we are dealing with at the moment and all the tensions across the world. It said that it's got a record high order backlog, a really strong demand. And as you said, the CEO was on Bloomberg TV and saying that he expects that momentum to be sustained going forward. We also had another positive update this morning from another defense company, Hensoldt in Germany, which provided margin guidance that was also ahead of estimates. And the stock rose quite a bit on the back of that as well. Obviously, it seems that the boost from increased military spending is really starting to feed through for those defense companies, with orders starting to translate into profit. And, given that attempts to broker peace in Ukraine seem to be facing quite a lot of obstacles, that will be probably continuing as well.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.